Hello guys and welcome to GGMU Manchester United fans channel, and today we are going to talk about the upcoming game against Southampton at Old Trafford. And the last game we earned a point from Burnley at ProTimoh, and we were so frustrated with the game because we could have won that game in the first half 3-0. I'm still pissed at the VAR on disallowing Rafael Varane's goal. They were saying that Maguire blocked Rodriguez from defending the free kick, but I don't think Maguire was just standing offside, and he was coming back from offside, and Rodriguez threw himself to Maguire. And then the referee, Mike Dean, said that we should look at the VAR to see if it was a foul. The VAR again told the referee to go and look at the monitor. And you see, every time the referee goes to the monitor, excuse me, the decision is not going to come out. It's always going to be against you. So the other goal is whereby, how do you commit a foul in the box and then you score, the opponent score an own goal? And in fact, the player that Pogba fouled was not the one who scored the own goal. Okay, away from that, we just have to take the 1 point we got from ProTimoh. And the team we are up against is Southampton, and you can remember they have beaten Tottenham at the unused stadium away. They have won away 3-2 away at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So if you remember the last game against Southampton, we drew 1-1 whereby Fred scored an own goal. And one of the things I want us to talk about is we have only won 2 games in the last 5. That is 6 points out of 15. And that is not even near Manchester United standards. And this is why we have to look at every aspect in our club, beginning from the owners up to the players, because as fans we can only talk from the owner up to the players. And first of all, in the hierarchy of owners, we are going to talk about the ownership of the club, the Glazers. Also, we are also going to talk about why we are not scoring a lot of goals, because even if you, except in the game against Brentford where we beat them 3-1 away, the other games we have been scoring at most 2 goals. And if you score 1 goal, then they come back, they peg us back. But in the West Ham game, we scored in the last minute, so there was no way they could have come back. But something we should know is that Southampton has scored in the last 5 games. They have always scored, that is in the Premier League. So our defense will have to work very hard to keep them from scoring. And yes, and that's why we are going to talk about Harry Maguire. Also, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel so that the channel can grow and reach more Manchester United fans. I want us to reach at least 15 likes to the video so that YouTube can recommend the video to many more Manchester United fans throughout the world. And on to the next one is about why we are so poor in the second half, and that's a major concern, especially this reign of Ragnick. Mostly in the second half we are so worn out and players tend to look tired. We are also going to talk about Harry Maguire. And I'm right, Harry Maguire, because excuse me, he's one of the critics this season, because he is the most expensive defender we have ever bought, and yes, yet he is the weakest. Also, we are also going to talk about our top 4 hopes if you are going to finish top 4, but I'll see as if there's a glimmer of hope considering Southampton beat Tottenham, who are our major opponents in the battle for top 4. We are going to finish by talking about how we should line up against Southampton at Old Trafford, because we need these 3 points, because if we lose that game, considering if Arsenal can win their game against Wolves, then top 4 is out of reach. Excuse me. That's why we should make sure we get the maximum point from that game. Okay, beginning, remember guys to like the video and subscribe on your bottom right corner. Remember to subscribe to the channel and also smash the like button. Okay, we have won 2 games out of 5 in the Premier League. That is very low standard, and it is not even Manchester United standard. Maybe Southampton, but no offense to Southampton, because Southampton has also have won 2 games in the last 5. So you can't tell me that Manchester United were in the level of Southampton. And it comes down to the players mostly, and then to the coach, because the coach is going to apply the tactics which he thinks they are best for the game according to the opponent, and now the players have to utilize the tactics or to put them into good use. But now, if the players go to the tactics and maybe they don't work, the coach has to come up with a plan B, and the plan B is where Rafragnik is failing, because in the first half we play very well. Remember in the Middlesbrough game, the FA Cup, we could have scored over 10-0 in the first half, but we only scored 1 goal. Ronaldo missed a penalty. There were other clear-cut chances that Bruno Fernandes missed. Rashford was there, missed. And then you come to the Burnley game. First half, we were so good, and we ended up even scoring the goal from Paul Pogba. But now the problem is that those even playing like that, we have won only 2 out of 5, meaning we have got only 6 points out of 15. And you know our standard, it's either 12 out of 15, and when we are so poor, 10 out of 15. But now that is 6 out of 15. That is nowhere good enough. Also, we are going to talk about where we are not scoring goal, and in fact we have very good forwards, but the reason why we are not scoring goals, I can tell you, it is because every player, and I'm going to name except forward for Jadon Sancho, every other player wants to score his own goal. I could have talked about Mason Greenwood, but I won't. But Manchester United forwards are a bit selfish, and forgive me, I've forgotten Edison Cavani is a very good forward, but the fact that he doesn't play, and Edison Cavani is not selfish, and that's why I think we are not scoring a lot of goals, because we have very good forwards. And if you see you are not clean through to the keeper, I think you should pass to the excuse me, to the next player who is just open, who is clear cut open, so that he can score. But some players tend to, they don't want to share the glory. They want to own the glory. And the first person, it is very rare for somebody like Marcus Rashford to have an assist, because no offense to him, but he is so selfish. He just wants to score the goal, his own goal. And he's not a number 9, he's a winger, and a winger should always assist, but he prefers scoring himself. Okay, another reason why I think why we are not scoring, it is we are not clinical enough. And you should remember that Manchester United have not scored from a corner this season, and now we are in mid-February. Yeah, we have not scored in a corner this season, and that's why I think I won't even wonder what do the players do in training. Do they not train on taking set pieces like corners? I even wonder how can you fail to score a corner? Now it is past mid-season and you have never scored a corner. Yet we have very good players in the here. It is either that one I blame the coach because they don't practice. And another thing I want to talk about is the penalties. I don't think the coach our coach is doing a good training on goalkeepers on penalties, because if you remember Dean Henderson in the FA Cup, he was so poor. In our region we call it shopping, but the goalkeeper was being sent shopping every time. Even you cannot tell me that you can be taken shopping by a championship side, a goalkeeper in the Premier League, and that one is nowhere good enough. And the problem is that we are not scoring goals, we are not practicing, especially corners. You see, when the opponent is so compact in the defense, you now try to use the set pieces, but Manchester United cannot take a set piece and score, especially a corner. We have never scored a corner, and we have really taken so many corners. And also we are going to talk about where we are so poor in the second half, and that's where now I'm going to go on to the coach. The coach has no plan B, because these teams have already understood his gameplay. He presses in the first half, the second half the opponent comes up and tries to stay with the ball, to keep the ball, and then we are confused. The teams hit us on counter attacks, and that's why the coach must come up with a plan B, whereby it's either we press throughout the game, or he comes up with a plan whereby in the second half we are going to attack in another way. Maybe in counter attacks we stay compact and go with counter attacks. He should bring pace strikers in and sub those who are tired, and we may end up doing well in second half, because if you remember, in the era of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we were so good in the second half. We could be 2-0 down in the first half, but in the second half we rise, we come back, we start pressing, and we win the game. Okay, remember guys to like and subscribe to the channel on your bottom right corner. That's why you hit the subscribe button. It will really help reach more Manchester United fans, so that we can create a community whereby we talk about our issues. And continuing, we are going to talk about Harry Maguire. The guy has been so poor this season. I even wonder, how can an 80 million defender perform so poor like that? And there's a former Manchester United player, Rafael van der Vaart. I'm going to quote his comments about Harry Maguire. He is really shit. You find a player like this at every amateur club in the Netherlands. He is saying that Maguire is a shit player, because you cannot tell me, if you go back and watch the game against Burnley and what he did, and that was a potential red card, because there's no way as a defender you're going to go to a forward like that. You defend like that, you are the last man, you are putting the shoulder of the forward, and you expect, even the referee was lenient. I think it's just because he was the captain, and he is nowhere near even an average captain. He has a very poor captain. He's not good on the ball. He's not good in the air. He's not good at defending. I even don't know why the coach plays him. Although I have seen from some credible sources that he might bench him because he's performing so poorly. And Manchester United right now, he don't need players like that. I think the problem with Maguire is his mentality, because you may see his body shape, even his body language can show you everything. Maguire, if you watch him when we are under pressure, he really performs like a player who is not a defender. He just watches the ball as it comes, and it is every game. Even in the Middlesbrough of game, you could see he was so weary. He doesn't know where to be. Okay, many fans call him the spearman. Even if he plays with Victor Lindelof, you see Victor Lindelof clearing everything, doing every work, and he is the spearman. He just stands there. He's a captain. He's not going to do a lot much. He's just going to be there, an average player. And that's why we are so frustrated with him, the fans. And I think Manchester United boss should bench him so that he's gonna learn from the bench on how we are going to play. But I don't think right now, because Victor Lindelof is ill, I don't think that right now he's going to bench him. He's going to play against Southampton, that one I'm sure of. And we don't have any option, because Phil Jones, if you put him there, therefore he doesn't have the best match fitness. I don't know what happened to Maguire, because the time we were buying him, even at England, he really performed well, especially during the World Cup, during the Euros and also the World Cup. He really performed well. But when it comes to Manchester United, he completely disappears. And I don't know what happened. But remember, like last season, he performed way better than now. But I think his form has declined. I don't know why. But I think we should bench him so that he can learn. And the reason why we are conceding a lot of goals, it is because only one centre back is really performing, and that is Varane. Because if you look at the goal we conceded, we were hit on a counter attack, but the fact that Maguire is not a solid defender, we conceded the goal. And from there, you could see we were nowhere near even coming back and winning the game. I remember Maguire got a chance to head the ball inside the net, but he just headed it outside. I don't know where his head is, but definitely he has to improve, or the coach will bench him. But right now he may not bench him, because we have a Champions League game and on 23rd. But this game against Southampton, he's going to play, and that one I'm sure of. But 80 million quid is not I think the best value for a centre back like Maguire, maybe 15 million to 20 million. You cannot tell me a player is 80 million worth, and the player cannot even be rated even at average. He is below average. Okay, continuing, let's talk about top 4 hopes. This season, the 2 points lost at Southampton cost us top 4, but we still have hope, because Tottenham slipped, whereby they were beaten by our opponents on Saturday. No, the team we are going to play against on Saturday beat Tottenham, so we have a possibility whereby we can beat Tottenham for top 4, because West Ham, they have a game in hand. We have a game in hand against West Ham, who are at number 4 right now. But if Arsenal win, they are going to be at 39. So we have to win on the weekend so that we go back to top 4. Although the games that Arsenal have 2 games in hand against us, but I think winning on Saturday is going to help us. It's really going to help us, because if we don't win on Saturday, then it means that we might finish even number 7 in the Europa League. And the problem with Manchester United right now is that we don't know. It's like we don't have a vision what we want in the FA Cup. If we knew that is the only trophy that we could have won this season, then why blow it? Why not even if some goals, we wasted a lot of chances in the first half? Why could we not have attacked in the second half, win those games, win those tackles, win the headers, and then go and score? But instead, we opted to just stay in the game, wait for the penalties, and you never know. In penalties, most of the smaller teams, they tend to win in penalties. And I don't even think the coach knew what he was doing, because how can you play like that, knowing that Middlesbrough is in the championship, and this is the only trophy that you could reach the final? Because to be sincere, winning the Champions League, that's another mountain. The way we are playing, we are nowhere near a side that can win the Champions League. So meaning that this season now we are going to go trophyless. It's so poor for Manchester United side, because if you remember, every other former player in Manchester United, they always say it is the determination, it is the feeling of playing for Manchester United, the biggest club, and you should be proud. When you wear that jersey, you should feel the intensity that you have to play with all you have for the badge, not just for the money, because some players just come to the club to earn money, and if they see there are no trophies, now they demand to leave, and still they want that high amount of salary, so the club is not able to sell them. They continue. They are every week they are paid a lot of money. They continue siphoning money from us like the Glazers. And if you see it like this, the Glazers, the owners, they are taking money out of the club. The players, they are doing the same. What about the fans? Where are the trophies? We want to come back to the glory days, and we are going to start by coming together of the players and the managers, and we need a director of football, by the way. And last season I heard a rumor that there would be Edwin van der Sar would be appointed the director of football, but due to the change of manager, maybe the new coming manager is going to be given a director of football. Who knows? But if you ask me about the incoming manager, I would prefer Ten Hag, because Ten Hag will come with his own players, and he's going to build a team. And the ones that are in Manchester United, he's going to add them to his squad, because I don't want any coach to come to the club and pick the same squad and expect to win any title. First of all, forget Cavani at number 9, forget Cristiano Ronaldo. The only players who I think a new manager is going to use is Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho. Then we have Rafael Varane, and maybe Paul Pogba if at all he remains in the club. The others for me, they're not good enough. And if you think there are other players who are good enough in that squad for a new manager, just tell me in the comment section. And guys, remember to subscribe and like the video. Okay, this is how I think we should line up for the Southampton game. Let's have the guy at the post, and he is our best keeper, player of the month, and there's no contention about that. Then at center back, I hate to say this, but Maguire will still play with Rafa Varane, and then we'll have Luke Shaw because Alex Telles is sick. He's ailing from COVID. Also, Fred is ailing from COVID, and we wish them quick recovery. At right back, we expect Dalot to play. I don't think Dalot has proved to be a very good fullback at right back. Then Wan-Bissaka in terms of attacking and coming back to defend. Also, we have Pogba, no contention. Pogba should play every minute of the game because he's so good with the ball and he's so good at passing, picking up players with the passes. Also, McTominay, he had a very poor game in the last game against Burnley, but he's still going to play because I don't think we should play Matic. Matic is so slow in that midfield, and against the Southampton side, somebody like James Ward-Prowse, he's not fit for the game. Maybe as a substitute. Rashford and Jadon Sancho will be the wingers. Bruno Fernandes at number 10, and then Cavani. And the reason why I have not picked Cristiano Ronaldo, it is because of the intensity of the game. Most of the games like this against Southampton, the game is so fast that players who are not pacey, they are just going to float in the game. And if you place Ronaldo at number 9, then it's going to look like we are at 10 men, but Ronaldo, especially when we are defending, we are only 10 man. When you don't have the ball, because Ronaldo is just floating in the opponent's half, because he cannot run back and defend. And that's why I think we should start Cavani. His work rate is so good, and let's wish we are going to win that game, because we need the points. We need this points so much. Because if we don't win those points, it's going to be so difficult for us to finish top 4. And that's it for today, guys. Remember to subscribe, remember to like the video, so that YouTube may share the video to many Manchester United fans and our community grows. And tomorrow we are going to have Manchester United GGMU quiz. That is a Glory Man United stand quiz, whereby some fans are going to take some questions, and let's see if they are going to show their knowledge about Manchester United. And I hope to see you in the next one, and don't forget to like and subscribe.